The sky was bright blue over Earth, and everything seemed peaceful. People went about their daily lives, unaware that their world was about to change forever. In the small town of Maplewood, kids played in the park, and families enjoyed their weekend picnics. Suddenly, a loud roar filled the air. A massive spaceship appeared, casting a dark shadow over the town. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. As the spaceship hovered above, it looked like a giant metal monster with sharp edges and glowing lights. Panic spread through the streets as people stopped what they were doing and pointed at the sky. The ship belonged to the Zorath, a race of aliens known for their power and technology. They had come to conquer Earth, and they would not stop until they got what they wanted. The Zorath unleashed their first attack. Bright, fiery plasma blasts shot down from the ship, exploding in the streets and causing chaos. Buildings shook, windows shattered, and screams echoed through the air. People ran for cover, trying to escape the destruction. In the midst of the chaos, one man stood his ground. His name was Alex, a soldier who had trained for this moment his whole life. Alex was tall and strong, with a determined look in his eyes. He had always dreamed of protecting his home from danger, but nothing could have prepared him for this. As he watched the flames rise and the aliens laugh from above, something inside him sparked. Instead of feeling fear, Alex felt a strange sense of courage. He shouted to the people around him, "We can't let them take our home! We must fight back!" His words inspired a small group of brave souls. They gathered around Alex, ready to stand against the alien threat. Together they formed a plan. While others ran and hid, Alex and his friends would find a way to push back against the Zorath. They quickly armed themselves with whatever they could find: bats, makeshift weapons, and even some old firearms. As the Zorath continued their attack, Alex led his group through the streets, dodging explosions and fallen debris. "Stay together! We need to find their weak spot!" he yelled, his voice cutting through the noise of destruction. The group moved as one, their hearts pounding, each step filled with adrenaline. They reached a clearing where the Zorath's plasma blasts had stopped for a moment. Here, Alex spotted a lone Zorath warrior standing near a downed spaceship. The alien was tall, with green skin and 4 glowing eyes. It looked fierce and ready for battle, but Alex felt a strange confidence. Instead of running or hiding, he decided to face the creature head-on. As he approached, the Zorath warrior raised its weapon, preparing to fire. But instead of fear, Alex laughed. It was a loud, bold laugh that echoed through the clearing. The alien paused, confused. "You think you can scare me?" Alex shouted, still laughing. "You have no idea who you're messing with." The Zorath warrior hesitated, unsure how to react. This unexpected response caught the alien off guard. Instead of attacking, it took a step back, its confidence shaken. Alex's laughter filled the air, and for a moment, it broke the fear that gripped the hearts of his friends. "Let's show them what we're made of," Alex shouted to his group, rallying their spirits. His laughter turned into a battle cry. With renewed courage, they charged forward, surprising the Zorath warrior, who was still trying to understand why this human was laughing in the face of danger. As they rushed forward, Alex and his friends worked together, dodging blasts and using teamwork to take down the Zorath warrior. They fought with all their might, fueled by the power of laughter and bravery. This moment marked the beginning of a fierce resistance, one that would leave a mark on the Zorath and change the fate of Earth forever. Little did they know, this was just the start of an epic battle for their home. As the day went on, Alex's laughter became a symbol of hope. The Zorath had come to conquer, but they were about to learn that humans would not go down without a fight. The sun set over Maplewood, casting a golden glow on the destruction left by the Zorath. Smoke rose from the remnants of buildings, and the air was thick with the smell of burning debris. But in the heart of the chaos, a new spirit began to rise. Alex and his friends had proven that humans could stand up to the Zorath, and their victory inspired others to join the fight. Word spread quickly about Alex's bravery and the small group that had challenged the aliens. People from nearby towns came to Maplewood, eager to help. Farmers, teachers, and even children arrived, carrying whatever weapons they could find: pitchforks, baseball bats, and hunting rifles. They all shared one goal: to protect their home. In a hidden warehouse, Alex gathered everyone to discuss their next move. The room was filled with determination and fear. "We have to fight back," he told the group, looking each person in the eye. "We showed the Zorath that we're not afraid. We need to use that to our advantage. A woman named Sarah, who had lost her home in the attack, stood up. "I heard there's a way to disable their weapons. If we can get close enough, we might be able to take out their plasma cannons." Her words sparked excitement in the room. The group began to discuss plans, each person adding their ideas to the mix. They decided to form smaller teams, each with a specific mission. Some would create distractions while others worked to disable the Zorath's technology. Alex took charge of the main team, determined to show the aliens that Earth would not fall easily. The next day, the resistance moved quickly. They set traps around the city to confuse the Zorath, using their knowledge of the land to their advantage. As they prepared for the next attack, Alex's laughter echoed through the streets, reminding everyone that hope was alive. Days passed, and the Zorath continued their assaults. Each time they attacked, the humans fought back harder. Alex led his team with courage and humor, turning each battle into a chance to inspire those around him. They learned to work together, their bond growing stronger with every challenge they faced. In the middle of one fierce battle, as the Zorath launched another plasma blast, Alex shouted, "Don't let them scare you! We are stronger together!" His laughter rang out, cutting through the fear, and his friends rallied behind him. They fought fiercely, using the weapons they had crafted and the traps they had set. But the Zorath were relentless. They began to realize that humans were not as weak as they had thought. The Zorath commanders noticed the change in their troops' morale. They could feel doubt creeping in. The aliens had expected an easy victory, but instead they found themselves in a fierce battle against a determined group of humans. One night, as they gathered to plan their next move, Alex noticed a group of Zorath soldiers lurking nearby. They were hiding, watching the humans from a distance. "They are trying to figure us out," he said, pointing. "Let's show them what we can do." Without hesitation, Alex led a small team towards the Zorath. He waved and laughed, taunting the aliens. "Come on! Is that all you've got?" The Zorath soldiers hesitated, their confusion growing. This bold move gave Alex and his team the chance to strike. They moved in quickly, taking advantage of the Zorath's surprise. After the skirmish, Alex noticed something strange. Some of the Zorath soldiers didn't want to fight anymore. They looked at the humans with a mix of fear and respect. It was clear that Alex's laughter had planted seeds of doubt in the Zorath ranks. As the days turned into weeks, the resistance grew in strength and numbers. Humans and some Zorath defectors began to work together. They shared knowledge and strategies, learning from each other. The Zorath who chose to stand with the humans had seen the bravery and laughter of Alex, and they wanted to be part of that strength. The resistance had transformed from a small group into a powerful force, united in their determination to fight for Earth. As they prepared for the next battle, Alex knew they were ready. With laughter and courage, they would face whatever the Zorath threw at them. The fight for their home had only just begun. As dawn broke over Maplewood, the sky was painted with hues of orange and pink. But this beautiful morning hid the tension in the air. The Zorath had been gathering their forces, and everyone knew that a massive attack was coming. Alex and his resistance fighters felt the weight of this new threat. They had fought bravely, but now they had to prepare for the battle of their lives. In the makeshift headquarters, Alex stood before his growing team. The room was buzzing with energy and anxiety. "Today is the day we show the Zorath who we really are," he declared. "They think they can take our home without a fight, but we will prove them wrong." A tall man named David stepped forward. "I heard that the Zorath are planning to launch a full-scale attack on the main city. We need to defend it at all costs." The group nodded, realizing that the fate of their town, and perhaps their entire planet, was at stake. Alex quickly outlined a plan. They would split into two groups. One would stay behind to protect the civilians and essential buildings, while the other would go on the offensive, trying to disrupt the Zorath's attack. Everyone felt the excitement of being part of something bigger than themselves. They were no longer just fighting for survival, they were fighting for their home and their future. As they moved into position, the ground shook beneath them. A low rumble echoed in the distance, growing louder. The Zorath ships appeared on the horizon, dark and menacing. They were coming for the heart of Maplewood, and this time they were ready to unleash their full power. Alex's heart raced. He knew this was the moment they had been preparing for. "Stay strong, everyone! Remember what we are fighting for!" he shouted, his voice full of confidence. The group replied with cheers, their spirits lifted by his words. The Zorath arrived with a storm of plasma blasts raining down upon the city. Buildings crumbled, and the air was filled with smoke and fire. Alex led his team toward the source of the blasts, determined to stop the assault. He could hear the cries of the people and the chaos all around him, but he focused on the task at hand. As they fought through the debris, Alex and his team encountered Zorath soldiers. They were fierce and relentless, but the humans were fueled by their newfound courage. They fought back with everything they had, using the traps they had set and the knowledge they gained from their Zorath allies. In the midst of the battle, Alex spotted the Zorath commander. The alien was tall, with a commanding presence and glowing eyes filled with fury. It was clear that the commander was not happy with the Resistance's progress. Alex knew he had to confront this leader to weaken the Zorath's resolve. "Hey, you!" Alex shouted, waving his arms to get the commander's attention. The alien turned, surprised to see a human standing boldly before it. Alex could feel the tension in the air as he laughed. "Is that all you've got? You think you can scare us with those flashy lights?" The commander hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to react to Alex's mockery. This was the same laugh that had confused the Zorath before. Seizing the opportunity, Alex charged forward, leading his team in an all-out assault. They pushed through the Zorath ranks, each human filled with determination. The battle raged on, and Alex's laughter mixed with the sounds of war. It became a rallying cry for the Resistance, motivating his friends to fight harder. They remembered how far they had come and what they were fighting for. Together they pushed back against the Zorath forces, inch by inch reclaiming their city. Suddenly a bright flash lit up the sky. One of the Zorath ships had been hit, and it began to spiral downwards. Alex watched in awe as his friend Sarah led the charge, her weapon aimed perfectly.
"We can win this!"
she shouted, her face bright with excitement. As the battle continued, more Zorath soldiers began to retreat. They were no longer the confident conquerors they once were. Doubt had crept into their ranks, and they realized that humans were not as weak as they had thought. With each victory, Alex and his team grew bolder, their spirits soaring higher. As the sun set over the battlefield, Alex felt a sense of hope. They had fought fiercely and they were making a difference. The Resistance had proven that laughter and bravery could stand against the might of the Zorath. With renewed strength, they would continue to fight for their home, ready to face whatever came next. The fight for Earth was far from over, but they were ready for anything. The battle for Maplewood had changed everything. The humans had shown that they could stand up to the Zorath, but the cost had been high. As the dust settled, Alex looked around at the faces of his friends. They were weary but filled with a new sense of purpose. The fight was far from over, and the Zorath were still a threat. But now something unexpected began to happen. Some Zorath soldiers were beginning to question their own cause. Days after the fierce battle, while the humans worked to rebuild and regroup, Alex noticed a Zorath soldier wandering alone in the ruins. The creature appeared hesitant, its large eyes scanning the area with uncertainty. It wore the same dark armor as the others, but there was something different about this one. Instead of attacking, it seemed curious. "What are you doing here?" Alex called out, his heart racing. He had learned to be cautious. But there was something in the Zorath's stance that made him pause. The alien hesitated, then spoke in broken English. "I do not want to fight." Its voice was low and shaky, clearly struggling to communicate. "I saw your fight. You are strong." Alex couldn't believe what he was hearing. "You don't want to fight? Why?" he asked, trying to understand. The Zorath looked down, its armor glinting in the sunlight. "We were told to conquer," it said. "But I see now, you fight for your home. You fight for your people. We have lost much." The creature's words hung heavy in the air. Realizing this Zorath was not like the others, Alex took a cautious step forward. "What's your name?" he asked, wanting to connect with the alien as a person rather than an enemy. "I am Kalen," it replied, lifting its gaze. "I wish to help you. I do not want to hurt." With a mix of fear and hope, Alex decided to take a chance. "Okay, Kalen, if you want to help, we could use it. But you have to prove yourself." Kalen nodded, relief washing over its features. "I will prove. I can help with technology. I know their ships." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow on the ruins, Alex brought Kalen to the group. The humans were skeptical at first. They had just fought against the Zorath, and trust didn't come easy. But Kalen stood tall, ready to explain its knowledge. "I can help you disable their ships," Kalen said, gesturing towards the distant Zorath vessels still hovering above. They use energy shields. I know how to break them. The room was silent. Alex spoke up. If Kalen can help us, we need to listen. We can't win this fight alone. Slowly, the humans began to warm up to Kalen, intrigued by the potential of having an insider. Over the next few days, Kalen shared everything it knew about the Zorath technology. The humans listened carefully, taking notes and asking questions. Kalen explained how to use their own energy weapons against them, revealing weaknesses that the humans could exploit. With Kalen's guidance, Alex and his team began crafting plans to attack the Zorath ships directly. They set out to gather materials and develop new weapons, determined to turn the tide in their favor. It was a long and challenging process, but Kalen worked tirelessly alongside them, proving its loyalty with every task. As they prepared for the next battle, a sense of camaraderie began to grow between Kalen and the humans. Alex saw how Kalen's presence changed the dynamics of the group. The Zorath soldier was no longer an enemy, but an ally, fighting for the same cause. Laughter filled the air as they shared stories and learned from each other. One evening, while practicing their strategies, Kalen surprised Alex by asking a question. "Why do you laugh?" "It is strange," it said, tilting its head. Alex smiled, remembering how laughter had become their weapon against fear. "Laughter brings us together. It helps us remember we are human. We fight not just with weapons, but with our spirit." Kalen seemed to ponder this, its glowing eyes reflecting a new understanding. Finally, the day of the next assault arrived. With Kalen's knowledge, the humans were ready to strike. They had developed new strategies that would catch the Zorath off guard. As they moved into position, Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. "Today we fight not just for ourselves, but for our new friend too," he shouted, his voice ringing with determination. The group cheered, their spirits lifted by Alex's words. With Kalen leading the way, the humans charged into battle against the Zorath once more. The plan was simple: disable the shields and take down the ships. This time they would fight together, united by a common cause. As they advanced, Alex knew that they were no longer just a ragtag group of survivors. They were a force to be reckoned with, standing strong against their enemies, both old and new. Together, they would face whatever came next. The fight for Earth was about to become even more intense, but they were ready, stronger than ever. The sun rose over Maplewood, casting golden rays across the town. After weeks of fighting, the humans and Kalen stood victorious. The Zorath had retreated, and the air was filled with a sense of peace. Alex took a deep breath, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. They had fought hard for their home, and now it seemed that they had won. As the townspeople emerged from their hiding places, they looked at the sky with cautious optimism. Many had lost loved ones, and the scars of battle were still fresh. But today was different. Today, they would start to rebuild not just their homes, but their lives. Alex and his friends gathered in the town square, where Kalen stood proudly among them. The Zorath soldier had become a symbol of unity, showing that even former enemies could work together for a brighter future. People began to whisper, sharing stories of the battles they had fought side by side. The laughter and camaraderie that filled the square felt healing, reminding them that they were not alone. Kalen addressed the crowd, its voice steady. "You have shown great strength. Together we can build a better world." The humans listened intently, understanding the weight of those words. They had not just fought against an enemy, they had fought for their beliefs, for their home, and for each other. As the days turned into weeks, Alex led efforts to help the town recover. The community came together to clear debris, rebuild homes, and support one another. Kalen worked with the humans, using its knowledge to help improve their technology. They created energy shields to protect the town from future threats and began developing better weapons, but this time with a focus on defense rather than destruction. In the evenings, families gathered around fires, sharing stories of bravery and resilience. Kalen became a part of these gatherings, learning about human customs and traditions. It enjoyed hearing stories filled with humor and heart, and it often asked questions about the meanings behind them. The people of Maplewood embraced Kalen, treating it as one of their own. One day, while they were repairing the local school, Alex climbed up to the roof with Kalen. "Look at this view," he said, gesturing to the horizon. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Kalen nodded, its eyes reflecting the setting sun. "Yes, it is. I never thought I would see such a place. The Zorath do not appreciate beauty. Maybe that's why they lost," Alex replied with a grin. They didn't understand what they were fighting against. Kalen chuckled softly, the sound surprising itself. It was learning to laugh and enjoy life alongside its new friends. As they continued to work, a loud rumble echoed from the sky. Everyone looked up, their hearts racing. But instead of fear, they saw a group of Zorath ships approaching. The crowd grew tense, and Alex felt a wave of anxiety. Were they here to attack again? But Kalen raised its hand, calming the crowd. "Let me speak," it said firmly. As the ships landed, a group of Zorath soldiers emerged. Alex felt uneasy, but he trusted Kalen. The soldiers stepped forward, and Kalen walked to meet them. The lead Zorath spoke, its voice deep. "We come to discuss peace." The crowd murmured in surprise. "We were wrong to attack your planet. We see now that you are strong and resilient. We wish to ally with you." Alex couldn't believe what he was hearing. Could this really be happening? Kalen nodded, encouraging the humans to listen. "We can share knowledge and technology. Together we can protect both our worlds," Kalen suggested. After a moment of silence, Alex stepped forward. "If we can trust each other, we can build a future where no one has to fight again," he said, feeling a sense of determination. The Zorath soldiers looked at each other, then at Kalen, and finally at Alex. One by one, they nodded in agreement. The air filled with hope as people realized this could be the beginning of a new era. Over the following weeks, discussions began between the humans and the Zorath. They shared ideas and technology, building bridges of trust and cooperation. Kalen played a crucial role, acting as a mediator and friend. As the community flourished, Alex felt a warmth in his heart. They had fought for their lives, and now they were forging a future filled with possibility. They were no longer just survivors. They were pioneers of peace. In the center of Maplewood, the town celebrated its newfound friendship. Laughter echoed through the streets as people danced and shared meals. The town had transformed from a battlefield into a symbol of hope and unity. As the night fell, Alex looked at Kalen, who was surrounded by children, telling stories of bravery. He smiled, feeling grateful for the unexpected ally they had found in the Zorath soldier. The future was bright, and together, they would face whatever came next. The battle was over, but the journey had just begun, and it promised to be an extraordinary one.